Hey everybody, it's Jessica from Catholic Mom Vibes, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how to make the family scripture spin to read. So stay tuned for the full tutorial. Okay, so here I have all the materials I need for creating my family scripture spin to read. The very first thing I'm going to do is grab a sheet protector. I'm going to slip it inside a sheet protector. That way it won't get dirty or wet, and we'll be able to use it for many scripture reading times. Or you can also keep it in a notebook if you want to. I'm going to set that inside. I'm going to cut out my readings and my arrow. Now that I have all these cut out, I'm going to put them on this piece of cardboard. What I have is just an old from a Kleenex box. And so it's a nice thin piece of cardboard that we can use to put these on. And then I'm going to cut around them, that way they're not as flimsy and won't rip as easily. I'm going to use packing tape to kind of cover them up, and then I'll be able to cut around them a little bit so they're not as flimsy as they could be. Now we get to cut them out again. Yay! I choose to leave a little bit on the edge, that way I can, the tape can be adhesive a little bit to both the paper and the cardboard. And then I can also add a few pieces of reinforcement tape if I need to. So let's clean that all up and then lay all our stuff out. So far we put this in here, and this actually is pretty flimsy too. So what I'm going to do is, I have this old piece of cardboard from something. I think it was from one of these sheet protectors actually. So if you get some of these sheet protectors, sometimes they come with an extra little piece of cardboard in them. There's one in here. See, there's a piece of cardboard in there, and it's really helpful. It's really helpful. You can just use that and pop it in with it. That way it kind of gives you an extra reinforcement. So if you do buy a sheet protector, you get a big one and use later. And then you can use the cardboard for your spin to read project right here. So that makes it a lot thicker and a lot easier to do. Okay, so the thing to do now is to pick which sections we want to put stuff in, so we can switch them out. We can put, I really like the gospel readings, I really like psalm readings, and in general the second readings are usually New Testament, which have really good stuff in them. So I'm going to pick these three. These ones I can switch out later, keep in a pocket, or you can always just slip them in the back to the bottom to keep back there for later, so you won't lose them that way too. So a perfect way to kind of keep everything all together in one little spot. Let's attach these. I think the best way to probably attach them is to have, this is pretty slick. I'm going to use an adhesive square. Just put one on the back of each of these. Okay. So we'll go ahead and I'll pull this out real quick. And we'll, since these are kind of like a temporary adhesive, I'm not going to put them on super hard. I don't want them to stick to everything. So we're going to try putting out just the paper. So we'll put the second reading here. We'll kind of just put them on there really gently so they stick enough to not float around, but hopefully not stick too much where they won't come off the paper. I'm going to put the gospel up here. And the psalm we'll put over here. Okay. Now let's put that back in. Okay, voila. Just like that. Perfect. I would have put this part in a different spot, but I think that since we have an arrow, I would put these on the outside, but since there's an arrow here, I don't want the arrow to catch on them and then like stop it. So make sure our arrow is in a nice spot. And we're going to do our best to, okay, if you have an actual hole punch, that's where you put the hole punch in there and you hole punch it right here. I don't have one, so what I'm going to do is make a, all the way through. And from that, I'm going to use a push pin and my scissors. Make a big enough hole to go through for my fasteners over here. So if you forgot what paper fasteners look like, they're these cute little paper you can put through paper, and they have the two little legs that you can pull apart and then kind of keep everything pulled together. You'll see how that works in a little bit. For the arrow, I'm going to go ahead and put this in my 3-ring hole puncher and make a hole in it that way. The bigger the hole there, the better. It's going to spin. I'm a little off because it's kind of far in, but if you have an actual hole punch, go ahead and use that. And use that hole there. I think that's going to help a lot better than what we had before to get it to spin nicer. Okay, yeah, it's a lot more loose. I can feel it. Okay, a lot more loose, and it'll definitely spin a lot better. Okay, so from there you can, sweet, just like that. So make sure that you put at least a big hole punch in your arrow. You don't have to do it in your back one per se. You can use that with this with a the scissors if you can't reach that middle section. But for this one, just put it out here, and then you'll be able to whip it around when you need to whip it around and spin to read. And that is our finished project of our Family Scripture Spin to Read. Yay! Have fun reading the Bible with your family.